Can you furnish a midterm rental unit from 3,000 miles away? My name is Josh, I'm in California, and we just launched our midterm rental in Columbus, Ohio, which is basically 3,000 miles away, but I have never once stepped foot into Columbus. And we had the entire unit set up. We acquired it, we got furniture, it was installed, pictures were taken, and now there's a tenant inside there, and I still have never set foot in the unit. Here's exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. As you're thinking about furnishing your unit, and make sure you stay to the end of the video because I will give some valuable tips on how you can completely automate the entire system. What's up everyone? My name is Josh. I'm a marketer and a real estate investor, and I help others make content that connects and build income through real estate investing. So if either of those interest you, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, today we're talking about furnishing a unit. And no, it's not this beautiful office of mine, but I would say that's a pretty nice office. It is 100% possible to launch and furnish a unit completely remote. Before we dive into that, a big thank you to Furnish Finder for sponsoring this episode, but more on them later. All right, so one of the most common myths is that if you're opening up a short-term, midterm, a furnished rental in general, that you have to be physically there to furnish the unit, and that is a myth. There are ways that you can do it without ever stepping foot. But in order to do so, there's a big mind shift that you have to have. Is that one, you're gonna spend more money, and two, you're gonna have to let go of control. Not everything is gonna be picture perfect. And if you can get over those two things, you can build out potentially exponentially more units because you're not stuck to one location. Quick truth, it is more expensive to do this remote than it is to actually be there and do it all yourself. But if you can focus on other money-making activities that could potentially be worth even more money, is that a good use of your time? You let me know. So if you've seen from my previous two episodes, we launched this midterm rental in Columbus, Ohio with our business partner, Ash. It was a priority for us to furnish this 100% remote. So here's what we did. Initially, a runner is someone that you can pay, like say on TaskRabbit, to do miscellaneous tasks. In this case, we had another investor friend who had a storage unit of kitchen supplies and furniture and wanted to get rid of it. But we had no idea what was inside. So we hired a runner, we paid them $25 an hour, which actually, hold on, let me look at the minimum wage for Columbus, which is 2.5 times the minimum wage in Columbus. So I'm asking this person to do an admin task for 2.5 times. So I'm paying them a fair wage for that market in order to save me time and hopefully save me money with some of these items. So there was a storage unit. This person now went to the storage unit and inventoried the unit for us. And from there we were able to select what items we want, and they brought it into the house. And so we paid them $25 an hour. But doing that, we 100% knew was not sustainable, but we had an investor friend who wanted to get rid of some furniture items. So we ended up getting a few. Despite all of this, one of the best things was this runner was actually working part-time for a home stager. Yes! A home stager. You read that right. That's like gotta be best case scenario for us in this, right? Is if they can actually furnish the entire house for us, or if we can buy some of their furniture, that now became the new plan. We reached out to the home stager and said, do you have any furniture that you are looking to offload? Oftentimes you'll find that home stagers do have an excessive amount of furniture or want to refresh. In this case, she was actually getting out of the staging furniture business. So now not only could we buy bulks of furniture of rooms at a time, but we now had a team that could also help install every single piece of the house. So my quick pro tip is, if whatever your market you're in, call home stagers and see if they're looking to offload any furniture and if you can purchase and have them install those pieces. So the next thing is that this wasn't 100% done. We still wanted to add our own personal touch. We still ordered our own decor, some of the other features, some of the technology features that we like to include into our units to help automate the check-in, check-out, just organizing and running of the property, and as well as some of the different amenities. So in order to handle these items, we made an agreement with the home stager that we can ship these items to her house or to her office, and her team would also install those as well. So that was a separate install budget that we negotiated on, but it is possible. So if you're also building this out, what I would recommend is ask your home stager that you're working with, can you receive some of my items and also install that? Or find a handyman that also would be willing to do that. There are certain things that a home stager may not be comfortable doing, like hanging TVs, or if there has to be actual contractor work happen. So at that point, you are also now contracting with general contractors or handyman to get some of these other miscellaneous items installed. For us, it was the smart lock on the front door, hanging the TVs, and the Ring doorbell. These were things that were not in the normal scope of work for the home stager, and so we contracted a handyman to do these for us. The best way to find those is to network with other investors in that market and see if you can get a referral for any handyman or contractors. That's why you always got to be really nice and friendly and actually generally try and help the other investor as well. Quick rule of thumb that I go by, my goal is to help be a connector. So anywhere I go, any other investor that I talk to, if I can give them a referral, I do that because that only helps me, that only helps them, that only helps everybody in the equation. All in all, we do this because this saves us loads of time. For example, if I were to go out there, I'd have to book a flight across the country to Columbus. I would then have to make sure that all of the items were stored in a location, and then for me to then pick up those items, unbox everything, assemble all the furniture, and do all of that within a set period of time before I have to fly back home. And I have 2 kids, I have a full-time job, that's the trade-off that I'm making, versus could I just hire somebody else who wants to do that job and can do that job? And that trade-off for us was worth it. And that's how we went from every single step of the way of having the unit be completely just bare to now being a fully operational and functional furnished rental. All right, before you go, here's just 5 quick tips I'll leave for you as you're thinking about furnishing your unit, and you can completely automate the entire system. So real quick, a big thank you to our sponsor of this episode, Furnish Finder. Furnish Finder is the absolute go-to place if you're looking to host travel medical professionals or corporate travelers. Here are the few things that I love about Furnish Finder. 1, it's $99 to sign up, and that's it. They don't take a percentage of every single booking like the other platforms do. 2, because you're doing midterm stays, way less headache, less turnovers. They're staying for at least 30 days, sometimes up to 6 months, which means that you're not booking cleanings, restocking the toilet paper, and most of all, dealing with partiers, because these are working, traveling professionals. Click the link down below and see how you can start hosting in your city today. Okay, so tip number 1, and this is the biggest tip, this is the most important one, is that if you want to make money and if you want to be the best listing, you will have to out-decorate the rest of the units that are on the market. So go on to furnishfinder.com, go into whatever booking platform you're going to be using, and look at what the comparable units are on the market. You have to be cuter, more modern, more updated, have more amenities in them if you want to compete at the top echelon. Not everyone wants to be there, but if you want to minimize how much vacancy you have to compete in that market. Second point, and the same one on that note, is buy quality furniture. The hard part is that with it being a rental space, you will have increased wear and tear on your furniture. So if you're consistently buying cheap furniture off of Amazon or IKEA, some of those pieces are great to have, but for major mainstay pieces like couches, mattresses, maybe even dining tables, I would encourage you to look elsewhere so that way you're having higher quality items that last for longer, and you also can stand out from the market because you just don't have the regular cheap stuff that everybody has. All right, the next thing, number 3, is to automate. Technology is your friend. You don't have to do everything yourself. Get Schlage smart locks. I can assign a code for anyone to access, whether it be your handyman, your stagers, your tenants, your guests. Smart lock codes. I can start codes to any guest that comes in. It has a start date and it has an end date, and I can do that all 100% remote. Additionally, that lock also will integrate with certain booking platforms, so that way the entire process of checking in, of creating a code, is 100% automated. The next thing is get a smart TV. Just get a Roku TV. That way the guests can provide their own streaming login and you don't have to worry about having every single streaming service for them. Okay, this is the biggest one. For your mattress, just get the Amazon Vibe mattress. That's my choice. I made a video, it's linked down below, comparing to the most popular furnished rental mattresses. That's your Zinus Green Tea and your Amazon Vibe. I ended up buying the Amazon Vibe for our own house here. And it's cheap, it's good, and we get consistent compliments and reviews talking about the mattress. And the last thing I'll say is coffee. As a coffee aficionado, I know that a Keurig is not the best thing, but it's also very convenient. If you're going the Keurig route, get the Duo. That way you can have the Keurig pods that your guests can bring, but it also has a drip coffee for those who do actually want to make just some regular drip coffee. It's a little bit stronger than your Keurigs. All in all, I hope you found that it is 100% possible to furnish a unit completely remote. You don't have to be there. It's going to take a little bit more money, but it's going to save you so much time. And then you'll be able to actually scale your rental business because now your team behind you can help facilitate the rest of the back end. You don't have to do it alone. You shouldn't do it alone. And that's why you definitely need to have a team. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that inspired you to think outside of just your local area for your investing and know that it is possible to do this remote. Technology is so good. Video capabilities now are amazing. And so if you want them to video walk through your property constantly, you can do that. You can ask them for that. Your agents, your property managers, your handyman, your contractors can all just text you a video so you have live updates of what's going on at your property through the duration of the project. I'm excited for you. If you have any questions about hosting on Midterm rental or how to furnish a rental, let me know down below, and I'll make a follow-up episode answering all of your questions. But again, if you found value on this, please like, share this, subscribe. And also, again, a big thank you to Furnish Finder for sponsoring this episode. If you want to check out how much you can make on Furnish Finder, click that link down below, go to the resources tab, and there's a whole travel nurse report that you can look at for the market that you're looking at so you can figure out if hosting travel nurses and corporate travelers is viable in your market. Anyways, that's been a really long outro. Thank you all so much. I will see you on the next one.